Right, so on that note, let's scan the music. JJ, good morning, and good morning to everybody that has already joined me here on Discord. I see all the guys are trickling in here one by one. I'm not going to open their speaker yet so you can hear them. I just want to quickly run through a couple of things with you guys and then we'll take it from there. Guys, so on Discord, just hold your horses. I'll tell you when I make your voices live, all right? Sir Olgwin, thank you. Good morning. Benistus, good morning. Okay, so guys, the reason why I'm doing this flight is because obviously yesterday the test flight didn't work out as planned, and we had some domestic interference here in the country of Skymatics. So we are back in full force. We're going to show you guys the new three new things in version 16 that we have already in place, and that's going to be the cockpit camera. It's going to be the VNAV speed restriction under 10,000 feet, and then we're going to try and do a go around at the end and actually hand fly the aircraft to see if we can get this hand flown FD to show up and show Zibo. So if he needs to tweak it a little bit, he can do that. So be warned, this is a beta aircraft, a beta model. There isn't a problem with starting engine number 2. I spoke to Zibo 3 hours ago. Him and me had a quick chat about it. I sent him a video. He is aware, so you'll see the engine number 2 struggles a little bit to start. Don't worry, it comes around eventually. And these are the reasons why we do the test flights. You know, we need to look at all the codes. If you change, you know, a little bit of code on the one side, it tends to have an interference effect on something else, and then it needs to be traced and all these things. So that's why we are here. If anybody wants to fly with me, I will be flying on Iveo, on the Iveo network. Let me actually just connect there while I am talking to you guys, and then you guys can turn this into a group flight as well if you really want to. There you go. So I'm live on the network, and so let me open the guys on Discord. Good morning, gentlemen. You are now live on air with me. Just take note.
Good morning.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Noz on stream. Okay, so let's start from the background. What I'm about to show you is something for the future. It does not exist yet inside of the Zibo mod. It's not part of the Zibo mod. It is from the same developer that has assisted in giving us the cockpit camera. He's also renowned for giving us this refuel truck and the little guy standing under the wing. So what he's done for us, and again now I'm standing at a gate with an actual, let me move so we can show you guys. Let's go to 52. Guys, I'll be on stand 52 at Manchester, FYI. Let's move over. And actually, you know what? I haven't reloaded the aircraft. Let me also just quickly reload the aircraft. Developer, reload aircraft. There you guys can see it. I figured out how to quickly get rid of that bar and everything at the top. So once I spawn in, I always do this just to make sure that all the scripts run. I choose reload the current aircraft and art. It's going to take a minute or so just to fire up. Then I'll show you. We've got stairs already, and we've got a little support truck with 2 extra little people standing there at the aircraft. And then I'll use it in combination with the normal JARDIS on ground handling. Then I'll take you inside. I'll show you. This is Jay Brick who made it, his creation now with this whole cockpit camera thing, and then we'll get going. Hope you guys had a good night's rest here on Discord and on stream. There we go.
Hello, Nico. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Chris. Welcome. Right, so here we go. Let's greet our.
Hello, Cap.
Sorry about
My
that.
name is
No
Linda.
worries.
I
Greet
am your
our
first
lovely
officer
Linda
today.
again. All right. I did get a message. Zibo didn't tell me himself, but Yeri told me that he spoke to Zibo about the built-in Copilot. I actually wasn't aware of it until very recently. I don't know if we can see it like this, because now we've got that building in our way. We can do this. There we go. So what happens is, if you have Linda, I don't know how many of you guys have seen it, the two co-pilots are sitting on each other's laps. Come on. There you go. There's a two for one. So Zibo has apparently indicated that he will remove, as an option in the tablet, that you can actually remove that guy in favor of Linda if you do own Linda. So FYI. Right, so with it reloaded, there's the first set of steps. Then we're gonna, Chris?
Yes, that is a good idea to remove the double up.
Yeah. All good things come to those who wait, you know, things happen. Development obviously slow. I mean, when I spoke to Zibo, 7 a.m. local time already, him and me are on the same time zone. He was at work already, you know, real world work, you know, and he's gonna be home later, and yeah. So we got to take that all into account. Hello, Howie. Good morning. So let's quickly get the ground handling widget so we don't double up on our side. Alright, there's the Ryanair liveries coming as well. Alright, so again, the steps, and where's the little bus? Let's get that going. There's the little bus with the other... What do you guys overseas call this? I mean, this to me is just another panel van, but I mean, what do you guys call this little van? Whatever it is, there it is there. We've got the extra two support guys.
Truck, lorry.
Yeah, little truck. Let's just call it a little truck. So anyway, good morning, Christer. Gents, so this is not part of the current offering. Here he said when he's ready with it, because he's still tweaking it and he's busy adding extra stuff. The idea, basically, from what I understand, is to replace Ground Handling Deluxe, you know, to have a freeware rendition that can be used with the aircraft. Yeah, when he's ready, he'll release it and you guys can play with it. But so far so good. I really like what I see. He's got a very keen eye for detail as well. Right, so moving internally, I'm going to start a little bit different than yesterday. I'm going to quickly go display and variants. If we go to the last page, you've got the flight deck camera. You can actually switch it on or off. If you say no, let's start with no, you will not see the panel. You cannot have the camera facility. If, however, you say yes, then you see all of a sudden we have a camera facility. Alright, so we're going to leave it at yes, because that's part of what we want to showcase to you today. And let's start our flight leg. Let's get the packs on there. I presume the aircraft is clean. Good morning, Captain Pepka. You're more than welcome to talk. All I asked is that you just stay on topic, and you know, we're gonna enjoy it together, not just one guy enjoying himself. Right, so I presume it should work now. So if we click on the display, what you will see is we've got three cameras. The first one is for the cockpit door area. Then we have the rear entrance and exit. then we have the front entry and exit as well. So thank you, Chris, thanks for the tip there, much appreciated. Right, so there's 3 cameras and it's as easy as just switching it on and off and flipping the switch. So it's a cosmetic, nice to have thing. It's not going to change the flight model or anything spectacular. But I like it. I think it's a really nice addition. Okay, so let's get into flight planning and stuff. Show you the route. This will be our route. We're going to fly from Manchester to Brussels, Charleroi. And according to my esteemed calculations in the beginning of this morning, 23 right for takeoff and 24 ILS 24 for the approach. Are any of you guys going to fly with me? Doesn't sound like it. All right.
Yeah, I'm just setting up, so if I can, I will.
Of course, you're welcome. I've already connected to the network on stand 52, so you should see me. I see there is KLM 051 as well. Okay. Okay, let's get all the nice displays back in place. There we go. That's perfect, Christer. Thank you. No worries. 6. Right, and just for the record, every time you click that button, obviously the fuel truck comes, and that was also created by JBrick. So very, very well modeled. Same idea with a person there, just giving it a little bit more depth. Right, well, that is loading. Let us continue. I need to set my timer. Yes, especially now in the later years, it's very important to have the knowledge of who is there, who is with that person, because it could be that somebody is held hostage already. So you want to see the whole picture. You know, you want to see more than just the first person. You want to see the whole story. There is another rule the guys fly to, which I don't think is necessarily air law. But it is related to the spate of suicides that has happened in the recent years. There's always supposed to be 2 people in the cockpit nowadays, at least here in South Africa. So you have to have situational awareness of everybody at any given time because of, you know, the nature of what could go wrong. Yes, when I go outside, Christer, when I go outside, XP Realistic has a wind ambience, a wind file that it plays. So that's all that the Dexter is saying to you. Right. There we go. I've started my client. To reset this because this is going to be out.
Nico, can I ask a quick question, please, with regards to one of the overhead options there?
Yeah.
The chimes, my understanding then, please correct me if I'm wrong, the chimes you should, we only need to turn it on when the cabin crew is ready.
My friend,
In,
it's the old story of real world versus sim. I just switched it on because it happened to catch my eye. If you watch my other streams, you'll see I only switch it on very much later. It was like a reflex I just had. I mean, it's all up to you and your own SOP and your own thing. Nobody's gonna cry because you set it on too soon or too late. You know, I mean, it's just
okay,
it's a toy.
that's fine. That's, as Nico said, it is a procedure, but especially when you departed, let's say you're taking off and you pass transition altitude, you want to release the cabin crew. You probably want to turn that off just for the cabin crew to get up of
Yeah.
the jump seats. It's just a realism. That's all. Depends how real you want to make it.
Exactly. That's in your hands. This is going to be an interesting thing if we're allowed to fly this old cook sister. Christer, here's a cook sister for you today. And that's actually impressive. Looks like the infinity sign. Sixty-two point seven, correct, and takeoff weight 68.7. Fuel is 6. You can see winter is coming when we start getting minus values now in temperature. Where is your FMC in STKP? It's not showing. Howie, if I go and look at STKP, look here at the bottom. I put it here, Web FMC. So you have to have the Web FMC plugin, and then you need to actually enable it here. You need to go find Web FMC in the list here. So you select Web FMC, make your little description. Once you've done that, it will create a little tab for you, and there you go. There is Web FMC if you need it in STKP. Right, so our landing CG is nose down, so we're gonna pull 500 kilograms there. And add it over there.
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
I cannot hear you. Try again. Hakan.
No worries, Hakan.
Hakan. Why can't I hear you?
I don't know.
Now I can hear you.
Aha. Okay. In this case, I need to say that I wish a wonderful day, all of you. I need to go. Have a nice day.
Okay, Hakan, you too.
Bye bye.
We'll talk later.
Bye.
Right, where are we? We've gone and done all of that. Let's go here. And let's use Linda to set our trim because I'm lazy.
Nick, I'm just concerned
Trim up.
when we set up our trim, visually it might be different from the actual trim that needs to be set up. Is there any correct way to set the trim up ourselves?
Well, the only way to set it up is to, you know, aim for what looks right. I mean, it's not that difficult. And if you set up your camera correctly, I mean, you can get it pretty darn precise, you know. In my humble opinion, all right, if it says 575, I would go so far as to go to 550. If you are within 0.5 of the value, you shouldn't have any issue. Whether it's up or down, it shouldn't make any difference. When you use Linda, she just makes it precise. That's all it is. All right.
Yep.
Did I break it now again? So I hope I didn't break it now.
So from this angle, it looks like it's 6. From the other angle, it looks like it's 5.5. So that's my.
All you do is just get your camera set correctly, because once you've got your camera view decently set up, it's very close to 6. But now if you move forward and you go, the aircraft's not going to fall out the sky because it's out with a 0.5. So if you're within 0.5 tolerance, there shouldn't be any reason that you should experience anything weird during takeoff or landing or everything. In landing, the system would have set it for you anyway. Okay, it's automatically set properly. But in takeoff, within 0.5, you should be fine. Hello, Denton. Good morning. See, Denton's on stream, guys.
Good morning, everyone.
And there's Pilot Sasso as well. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
How is it going?
All good, thank you. All good. Look, are you watching my YouTube channel?
Of course.
Did you see the
I
camera?
woke up no more than 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
I have a standby today, so they may call me and I have to scramble to the airport.
Okay, no
But
problem.
other than that, I'm on following your stream.
Alright, did you see the cameras?
Which cameras?
Look. It'll come on your screen just now.
Oh, wow.
So that's
I would love.
cockpit door, left front, and left back.
Oh, wonderful. I would love to have that in the real one. I promise.
Some of ours had it, eh? Some of our aircraft actually had it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but low cost means nothing optional is gonna be there.
Yeah, I know.
Just in case.
We'll have to speak to the boss. Alright, anyway, so back to reality. Yeah, 5.75, she's done that for us. She'll complain if it's wrong, because I did touch it, unfortunately. 149. So, Sasso, I'm flying from Manchester to Charleroi. And
Nice.
this is a new beta model of the Zibo, so there are a couple of things that we're going to check. Zibo altered the VNAV descent code to honor the restriction of 240 below 10,000. So during the descent, we have to keep a keen eye then during that transition period to go below 10,000 that it actually works. That's the one test. And then the other one is he fixed the flight director when you fly manually. Apparently, I don't know what that means, but you can tell us what it means when we get there.
All right, no problem.
Is it something we can test during takeoff, the manual flight director? So in other words,
Yes, we can.
right. So I'm
Yes,
not
we
gonna.
can.
I'm not gonna use that. And let's take off. We'll keep it in a manual mode. So I'm gonna hit toga. I'm gonna do the takeoff, run, take off,
Yeah.
and fly by hand.
So basically, if we want, we can spend 30 seconds about this because it's easier to speak now instead of while we are on the runway.
Do that.
Basically, what you have to do is to do the configuration as normal. So prepare and arm as they are at the moment. I'm looking at the MCP. The flight director are already armed.
Yes.
But you don't need to arm VNAV. So basically, you can go with LNAV. You can press LNAV. While you, let's say, enter the runway, but don't activate VNAV.
Okay,
what we are gonna do, we are gonna do a manual bug up. So I'm manually starting the flaps retraction at 1,000 feet above the ground level. So basically, you flying manually. What we need to see on the flight director is that at the beginning is pitching more or less between 15 degrees nose up.
Okay.
And then between 12 and 16, it depends on the weight. But then as soon as you command on the MCP speed, the bug up speed, which is around normal speed, is going to be 210 more or less, you need to see the flight director commanding a pitch down to start to accelerate about 8 degrees nose up. That's what you want to see.
Okay, well, I'm glad you are here because it's going to make the test for me and Zibo easier. So, okay, let's do that. Let's do that because I was thinking of maybe doing a go around at Charleroi, but if we can test it now, that's even better. Get it out of the way.
It's better to take off because you have a more precise profile. Instead to go around, it's just full blast and nose up. Instead on the takeoff, you can see the changing.
Good, good. Right, so let's quickly do the rest of our setups then.
Can you recap on that as you're taking off using flight directors?
Yeah, so when we do it, let's just talk through it as we do it again, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Runway news, Nico, for departure.
I'm going to use 23 right.
Okay.
Alright, we need to be on the ground for another 5.25 minutes. Good morning, Dominic. Good morning, George. Sorry, hands full, mind somewhere else, but I did see you guys come in. Welcome, guys. No problem, Dominic. Stay as long as you possibly can. Sasso also said he's on standby. That's why I thought maybe it's better to do the test in the takeoff run than the go around, because if they call him to go fly in the real world, then we're stuck without him.
Well, that's even better now. Just check the information on the chart. Manchester is noise 1 departure. This means that the bug up, because of noise abutment procedure, the bug up, so the start in the cleanup is going to be at 3,000 above ground level. So for instance, it's going to be 3,000 plus the air first elevation.
Okay, so I'm going to switch on the cutback to assist us with that, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Logic UK, if you requested something like this a year ago, it actually makes me smile because you know how many requests we get, and my standard answer has actually become Zibo will get there. So it's fantastic to hear that he's actually got to something, you know, that somebody was looking for. Yeah, the project plan runs, and then every now and then he goes off on a tangent and things like that, but he always comes through. Sorry I have to wait, guys. Sorry. I mean, Rome wasn't built in one day, so yeah. Okay, so we're going to do the cutback. Just go back to the page. So at 1000 AGL, it's going to reduce to 83% N1. At 3000, it will then, you know, start the normal climb thing. And in that process, I think it's going to make it easier for us to also hand fly it, eh, Sasso?
Sorry?
I say it's going to make it easier for us to hand fly if we do not fly like a fighter jet. You know, we're going to fly a bit slower as well now with the cutback and the noise abatement procedure.
Yeah, that's fine. But consider that until 3000, so for instance 3200, because the air correlation is 2.7.
Yes.
So 3200 on the QNH, we are gonna fly with the +5 out. So you're gonna fly like slow, let's say. That's the noise abatement procedure that you use. So you get higher and then you accelerate.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Okay, George, you'll have to ask Zibo. Remember, this is a commercial add-on. I very much doubt that he will put it on the tablet because it's not part of our, you know, business plan, so to speak. The other people to speak to would be to talk to Jar Design themselves to see if they can come up with a workaround maybe for you. So yeah. Well, yeah, Dominic, it's awesome to have Sasso here. He's been very kind to us. He's really assisted with a lot of knowledge, eh? So I hope you can stay as long as you can and, you know, make the takeoff and all. But there's always the video afterwards. And remember, we'll probably fly tonight again, so you guys are welcome to come around. Alright, I think we can start the APU. Let's do that. And then I'm basically done. Guys, I'll push in like 5 minutes. I need to quickly get the push back truck set and we'll go. Right, okay, let's do this. Better push back.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
If 2-3 is active, we should actually go that side, that way.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Right, let's close our doors and send all our merryfolks on their way. Disable the first step, second step, and disable the maintenance van. Okay, that's what it's called. Ground handling control. Drive away all. I am very definitely, unless ATC tells me, I'm not going to take 05 because the wind is not in that favor. Right, we've done that.
Oh, nice library, very nice.
You like it?
All doors and hatches are
Kind of.
Well, I am flying for Ryanair Virtual. They will not allow me to fly any other livery, so I have to use it. And I must say, I don't know anything about Ryanair, but I'm proud to be associated with Ryanair on every level, in the sim, with the Zibo, with you guys everywhere. I don't have an issue with Ryanair. We make fun of it, and the guys make fun of the hard landings. But I don't know any better, and for me, they're my heroes.
That's good. Nice to know.
Yeah. Dominic, it's work in progress. The one set that I normally use, the one with these trucks here on this side, this is ground handling deluxe from Jar Design, the same guys who made Linda. The steps and the van and everything on that side comes from Yeri. J Brick is his username, and you know, he made it and he's still busy working on it. Once it is ready, he will release it. It's not available right now. Alright, so anyway, sorry Dominic, my daughter just asked me a question. In other words, it's not available yet, it's coming. I need to quickly also now set up my automatic Unicom 52. Juliet, Golf, Juliet will be the taxiways. Golf and Juliet. Yeah, you can use the Jar Design one until this one is released. 2, 3. Hold short. I don't know, it's Juliet. I don't know, hold short Juliet. Let's do it that way.
There's nothing stopping you requesting your runway of choice, is there, Nico?
No, nothing. It depends on the winds and the SOPs. Okay, so if the wind is like this, there's a 1 knot tailwind if you use runway 05 left. Now 1 knot is not going to break the bank, but just in principle, I'm not going to use 05 because why must I take off with a tailwind when the other one doesn't have it? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
George, no, I'm not. I don't feel like using her. What she will do is she will do a normal operation. So I'll get her to do a couple of things, but I don't want her to waste any more time right now. We're already, you know, a bit late as it is because we were talking so much, which is fair. I mean, everything happens at the right time. Right, so let's have a look around, see. Very definitely going to set out my pushback and start up. Is that guy ready? Yeah, let's go. Alright, so
Pushback and you may start engines.
widgets in the place there. Okay. This engine number 2 does have a problem to start up, guys, and again, just to remind you, this is a beta. This is 16A, it's not available to the general public. Sasa, you must check this. I showed Zibo this morning. I hope it's going to do the same now, so you can check this. The moment you crank your ground switch at the top, it spools up. Oh no, this time it works. It spooled up to like 2% and then it dies, goes back down to 0. Then it spools up, then it dies again. And after about the third or fourth attempt to start the engine, it worked. So I don't know what the cause was, but I made a video and I showed it to Zibo this morning. And now that you are here, it seems to not want to do it. It's working fine. Can you believe it?
Could be if you did that pushing back and you start the rotor, the N2 rotor, into tailwind, you may have this problem in the real one.
Is it?
Yes, absolutely. If you do the pushback and you have a strong tailwind behind you while you're doing the pushback, the SOP and Boeing advise to complete the pushback, and then once you complete the pushback and maybe you have wind from one of your side or headwind, you start the engine. Because if you have tailwind, the N2 is already rotating while you force him to rotate maybe in the opposite direction.
Gotcha.
That's why the FADEC system automatically shut down the engine.
Well, Zibo didn't mention anything like that to me this morning. He said he'll look at my video. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he just didn't pay attention at the moment when I spoke to him. Maybe that is something that he purposefully built in. I don't know. We'll find out later. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Hello, Johan.
Very interesting, though.
Yeah. Johan, I'm well aware of that. We're talking above and beyond that. We're talking about an actual bug. If you look at my stream from yesterday, you'll see. We tried it multiple times. If you look at the video I made this morning for Zibo, we tried it multiple times. This thing was standing there idle, and it just doesn't crank up. It went up to 2, then it goes back. Then it goes to 1, then it goes back. You know, it was seesawing the whole time, and that's why it was deemed to be a bug.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
So we've got a 9-knot wind, and it is registering from where? I could have looked on the FMC now.
Tow is disconnected and bypass
Flaps
pin
5
has been
set.
removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Yeah, George, we aim to please, man. We want to make it as real as possible. Always, always, always. Right, let's go. Wait for that pin.
Nico, what's the wind?
310 at 9 knots.
Okay. Another thing we can see today during the takeoff row, if the wind is 310 at 9er, you should have on the navigation display, top left corner, the wind indication, the wind arrow with the wind indication.
Yes.
And it should come up when the wind is equal or more than 6 knots.
Yes.
And should disappear when the wind is below 4.
Yes, correct.
So
correct.
I don't know if that is done.
It was done, so it should be done. We'll check now. Sasso, just as a matter of interest and for the viewers there, I've just brought up STKP. There you can see the METAR. So it's got a 310 at 12. So we are saving 3 knots of wind. But if you look, we've got a 2-knot headwind and 11-knot crosswind. Okay. Now, why the guys take off from 5 left, I don't know, because there's a tailwind with a greater crosswind component. So obviously they might have different weather than us or whatever it is. My weather, this is my weather, which is why I chose 23 right. You understand?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the procedure. Sometimes, usually most of the company, talking about the 737-800, most of the company have 10-knot tailwind
Yes.
as a limit, let's say. And sometimes for some particular runway you have a 15-knot tailwind approved for landing as well.
I'm familiar with it. I just didn't see
Yeah.
it here. I briefly looked. We can look at the documentation again. If I missed it, I missed it. But I didn't see the whole spiel this morning, so I just went with guts.
No, it's okay. I mean, I remember using 2-3 because the parking stand are next to the holding point for runway 23 right.
Exactly.
We always use that for departure, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes another procedure is if the crosswind is more than 10 knots, you just go up to the next rating in terms of takeoff row. That's just one SOP for some particular companies.
Yeah.
It really depends.
232.
And I'm really sorry, Nico. That's just my head going forward. Sorry about this, but I'm seeing the heading 052.
Yeah, I'm changing it. I'm busy changing it
Oh,
as we speak. I don't know why I had it the wrong way around. It's just some silliness.
No, you know, because I had something similar. The first thing you want when you have a master potion or something after lift off is to have a runway heading to follow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, George, there's no
Yeah,
ATC here today. Right, so we're going to do whatever we need to do now. So we're going to just hold short here before takeoff procedure. Let her do her magic.
Before takeoff procedure.
Right, LNAV is on, VNAV is off. As we discussed, we're going to do the manual takeoff then.
Don't forget the talk through.
Yeah.
Before takeoff procedure completed.
Right, let's go.
Stabilized.
George, I'm actually broadcasting my intentions on Unicom in text for your information. So the guys on the network should know what's happening, but you are correct. There is no ATC now.
Approaching 2-3 right. On runway 2-3 right.
Toga, there we go.
Takeoff thrust set.
I'm almost fully deflecting just to keep this aircraft straight. It is crazy.
80 knots.
Consider that I have a bit of lag, Nico, because I'm on YouTube.
Alright. There you go. There's your wind indication showing 9 knots from the side. I'm fully deflecting, kicking left, rudder, and almost 90 degrees on the steering, on the control column. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
That's normal. By the way, when the speed becomes active and the rudder becomes more effective, then you need a little bit to reduce.
Yes, I did feel that. Yeah, that's perfectly 100%. Alright, okay, so we are now flying manually and we're going to try our best to follow this flight director.
Perfect. Yeah, follow the flight director, do your procedure like the gear up, and don't touch the flaps and the speed until 3200.
Alright, no worries. Should I not increase the speed a little bit? Just silly question, because I'm still at 149.
1000 to level off.
1000 to go.
Yeah, that's fine. 149 is just an indication for the takeoff, because that's your safety speed, the V2. The flight director now is pitching with a normal situation with 2 engine. Is pitching to maintain V2 up to V2 plus 20, which is the white bug on the speed side.
I see that. Yes, I see that.
Exactly. This is what the flight director is aiming for.
All right. Okay.
So for now, I can see it's all perfect. You have more or less between 12 and 16. It really depends on the weight.
Approaching transition.
I'm a bit heavy. I'm a bit heavy.
Yes. Okay, you got an alt acquired. So technically you can bug up now, because the bug up is climbing or at alt acquired at the first altitude.
1000 to go.
Okay. Alright, I've lost the plot a little bit there, concentrating, so let's just get back on track. But I suppose it's a good test as well.
Yeah,
for
increase
this.
the speed.
I have.
Increase the speed.
Why do we have a master caution, or is it just the sunlight? I think it's just the sunlight. No, it was on. There's a master caution for some reason.
Okay, just cancel the master
did.
caution and no worries.
I think it was because we were getting a bit slow there. Okay, but anyway, there's the pitch down. Now I'm pitching to way up. So I'm not following the director, you see. And now it's pitching down, getting speed. This is fun.
Yeah, there we go. So try to maintain 3000, and there we go. The flight director is pitching to maintain the 3000.
Yeah.
And okay, so go for flaps 1.
I'm on flaps 1.
And you can go to flaps up as well.
Oh, I make it seem so easy. It's a joke. It's a joke.
And now, as you can see, now that you have the flaps up, the flight director is pitching again up.
Yes.
And that's normal because he wants to maintain that speed. Now, basically, when the flaps are up, he reverts into level change. So, of course, he's maintaining now 3000 with 210, so there is nothing to accelerate.
Okay.
But let's try this. Put I don't know 6000 or whatever altitude you want, even 100. So we have a little bit of layer to play.
6000. Okay.
Okay, 6000. Now press 220 or 220 in the speed.
Yeah.
And press level change.
I did press level change. So it wants to pitch up. That's one thing for sure. Look how it's pitching up. I mean, I have to now actually, I forget I'm in charge. I have to actually pull the column back.
Exactly. So the flight director is working.
Yeah.
Because now it's commanding a pitch up in level change, full blast to climb.
Also,
so that's absolutely normal.
What a privilege, guys, to be involved in this whole development. This is just freaking a big privilege. I'm telling you, this is just amazing.
1000 to
So
level off.
to level up at 6000 stars, to pitch down at 5700 more or less, to have a nice level off. Otherwise, it's too late.
It's not listening to the speed. It needs to reduce the speed. It's kind of a bit slow in reducing the thrust there, and now see I'm concentrating on the one thing, then I lose the other thing. You told me to pitch down and I started, and then I looked at the speed and I got worried about the speed.
Approaching transition.
Ah.
Well, the speed is controlled by the auto throttle, so it should work.
Yeah, it was a bit slow to react. That was my comment. The speed was a bit slow to react. It was giving too much thrust for too long.
Yes. It should be more reactive, like more quickly.
Yes.
Quicker to do it.
Well, I'm glad you are here because all your comments are recorded. Sasso and like Flight Simulation is saying there. I mean, Zibo obviously is going to watch this later when he gets home, and you know he'll get all the.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow on YouTube. Of course, I have a little bit of lag on the streaming. So yeah.
Right. Well, anyway.
Approaching transition.
There's Command A. Let's take over. I think we've done our bit, Sasso. I mean, we've really done what we wanted to do.
The flight director is working fine. The only thing you need to double check is the auto throttle, because in that occasion, it needs to react quicker than it is. That's all.
Okay. Well, I'll tell Zibo what you said, and he'll obviously, you know, hear the story as well. Oh, and I need to bug up on my altitude now. You know, he's going to get first-hand information from this, so he can go tweak it. I'm proud of that guy, man. He does such a good job.
Autopilot's dropped out again.
For you or for me?
For you.
For me. Sorry. Oops. Oh, goodness.
Probably VNAV is not gonna work, Nico, because you have an altitude restriction and you are already above that restriction.
Yes, yeah,
That's
I'm
why
with
the
you.
autopilot disengaged.
So that is true. Let's just stick on a level change and LNAV. We'll just do it that way. There's so much I want to say now, but for legal purposes, I have to keep quiet. But I've got so much to say right now. Damn it!
You remember when I told you, like, the famous Children of Magenta by
Yes.
that American Airlines pilot?
Yes.
This is exactly what happened. You were in a kind of situation of high workload, and you try to go with VNAV, LNAV, which is the highest level of automation, and it just didn't work. So instead of crashing your mind and maybe put the aircraft in an upset or in a low speed situation, just go down to one level. So go revert to the basic level change.
Yeah.
And that's what you absolutely did correctly.
Yeah. I was speaking to a number of people about the Children of the Magenta line in this week. It is something that has made a few people laugh and also made a few people worried. You know, it's a dangerous thing, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Scott. Sasso, he says thank you to you too.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure if I can be here. I don't want to say yes, sharing some information.
I for one, and I know the guys sitting here in Discord, and obviously know some of the guys that are watching the stream that is willing to chat with us. I think we're like a bunch of sponges, you know. We just want to lap up the knowledge. We really want to enjoy learning, and we do enjoy learning. That's why we like the sponges. We just want to soak it up, eh?
Yeah.
Yes, Mac.
Nico, just as a matter of trial, in the FMC Lex page, do you have any altitude restriction?
They would have been, but let's quickly have a look see, because we should be out of them now. We're out of them. We've passed them, so we should actually get back to VNAV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
We
Yeah,
have
now
to
it's
work.
taken it.
It should accelerate as well.
Yeah. Yes, George. Sorry, Sasa.
I was thinking to try something. So, for instance, now you are more or less crossing level 200, and you are in VNAV, correct?
I'm in VNAV and I'm just passing 15.5.
15.5. Okay, that's fine because it's accelerating. Correct. Now, go back into level change and set a speed of 300. So it's gonna climb in level change 300 speed.
Okay, done.
Okay, now go into the Lex page and set on the first waypoint you have in the Lex page an altitude constriction of 170 or below.
It's not gonna honor that. Not sure if Zibo has actually fixed that side of things.
Okay, now basically, just because I have the lag, now you are in level change, climbing 290, but you have the restriction at 170. Okay, after you pass 170, so after you are above 170, probably you are already, okay, press VNAV now and check what message you got in the FMC.
There's no message, but it's actually diving back. So anyway, I want to retract what I said. This is not a bug. This is actually behaving as it should, because level change will not honor the restriction. The moment we went to VNAV, it now said, oops, there's a problem. So it's come...
Exactly, that's what I want to see. That's what
Yeah.
I want to see. Exactly,
So-
that's absolutely correct.
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome. This is actually better than expected. Yeah, because no, sorry, I'm blonde. I was just slow for a second. By the way, for the guys flying on Iveo rule, you asked me this morning, look, there's TCAS. So TCAS is definitely working. You guys must remember to switch TARA on. If you have TARA on, your TCAS will work. It's like in the real aircraft. So, sorry, just a quick deviation. So I'm impressed. I mean, this thing actually went to the altitude where we pressed the button, so to speak. You know, the moment we switched VNAV on, it said, okay, this was the altitude, and it stopped right there. So it was obviously climbing still. It had to brake, it had to come down, and now it's acquired this altitude, and this is where we are.
Of course, let him stabilize, and that's normal because he reacts to an error and says, okay, alt hold is the best solution. So he's holding the altitude when you press VNAV. So that's why I asked you this kind of
question,
this trial, because I was looking to see how it works, and it works absolutely fine. So now you can either cancel the restriction or press alt intervent, and it should start again the climb.
The speed is to a lower level as well.
Yeah, it did. Alt intervention is not working, so that is something that needs attention. So let's quickly do this. Let's just go to the cruise 290. It looks like it dropped the cruise value there, so that is something Zibo needs to also pay attention to. So let's just quickly go and press. There we go. Now altitude intervention works, because it didn't work because it dropped the cruise altitude. When we put that restriction, it cancelled the cruise altitude for some reason. That shouldn't happen.
Okay.
That should not
No,
happen.
exactly.
Yeah.
Should not work like that. It should be like just
it's a temporary thing. Yeah, exactly. It's just a temporary thing. All right. Okay. Now I'm glad we do this, because now we've identified another bug that Zibo can actually look at. I mean, that's the whole reason we're here. So thank you for that.
No problem.
Oh, this is getting nice.
The speed dropped because he went into cruise level 170, and using the cost index, whatever is set there, probably the cruise speed at 170 was around 250, whatever. That's why he dropped
Makes
the
sense.
speed as well.
My coffee is ice cold. It's like I'm drinking iced coffee now. I didn't even think about drinking. It was so intense getting here.
Okay, Nico, if you want to do another try with the flight director, we can, if you want, go into VS, set 3000 feet a minute in a climb, let him stabilize in a climb at 3000 feet a minute, and then play reducing the vertical speed, and you can see the flight director playing with you. That's the best, let's say, trial for the flight director. Okay, put 500 feet a minute in a climb.
There you can see it's dipping already. very fast.
That's perfect. Another crazy thing we can do, which actually can happen in real, is sometimes the ATC clear you to 2980, and then at the moment you realize you did a mistake, so it will call you and say, Ryanair 123, stop immediately, level, I don't know, 240 for instance, and maybe you are crossing 233.
Yeah.
In that case, the procedure is press Alt hold, then change the altitude, then revert to a normal mode. Now, to do this, we can go leave 2980 for now, set the aircraft in a climb at 3,000 feet a minute, so we have a good pitching on the flight director.
Okay, done.
Okay, let him stabilize in the climb.
Okay, we're stable.
Perfect. Now press Alt hold
1000 to level off.
and don't touch anything else. And it
Done.
should stabilize with a strong flight director indication to pitch
yes.
more or
Oh,
less
yeah.
to 6 degrees nose up.
Yeah, it's actually bringing me down now as well. So
Absolutely, that's correct, because it takes the altitude. He will try to recover the altitude when you press Alt hold.
yes.
So that's normal. But what I want to show you is the flight director movement.
Oh,
the
yeah.
pitching movement to the flight
Perfect,
director.
perfect.
Yes. And now you can, I don't know, set the new altitude, or again 2980, and then revert to a normal mode. So level change or VNAV, whatever. This is the real procedure if the ATC comes to you and says stop immediately. It's like, oh, sorry, I did a mistake, I need you to stop immediately.
Okay,
Alt hold, reselect the altitude, and then revert to a normal mode.
Phew, this is awesome. And good morning, Joe. I see you all with us. Hello, Johan. See you with us as well now on Discord. Yeah, this is amazing. What do you guys think?
Fabulous stuff.
Yeah. If there was a controller on our way, he would have called us long time ago. Hey, what are you doing?
Just being aviator instead of pilot.
Yeah.
So have you had controllers say that to you, or experienced similar issues like this?
No, the maximum I heard was Ryanair 123, where are you going? I don't see you en route to this waypoint. And maybe you just you are on heading, or you are avoiding, and the ATC doesn't know. This mainly happen when you are changing frequency. So maybe you says to an ATC, I need to go left 10 degrees, or I need to go on a new heading, I don't know, 200 because of weather. And then at a point, the ATC says to you, contact next unit, report heading. You call the new frequency. You say you are on a heading because you need to avoid. But after 5 minutes, the ATC maybe forget and call you and says, Ryanair 123, where are you going? Like, you are not on track to whatever the point is. I'm more crazy than this for now.
Thousand to level off.
Yes, George. Tell the controller to mind his own business. We're busy learning. Now I'll just disconnect from the network if I have to. We don't want to upset our guys. I want to tell you something on a side note. The guys at Iveo, Denton, and the guys have been absolutely brilliant with us. They are so nice. Gary, and Denton that we have had personal interaction with now made a great effort to get me and the team onto the network, to give us a safe space for the new guys to learn. If any of you guys ever feel like flying online with ATC and you need to go through training, come talk to us, we'll get you sorted. The guys here love it, and you guys are more than welcome.
If
Thanks.
I can spend an eco award to Ivao,
Yeah.
I started with Ivao back in 2008, and all my knowledge that I brings with me into the real flight academy and now in my job are coming from the basic, which is Ivao. So I can absolutely encourage everyone, if you want to do a simulation with let's say a next level simulation in terms of as real as it gets.
Yeah.
That's the slogan of Ivao.
Yeah.
That's one thing to try, absolutely.
Absolutely. I think that's Heathrow below us, guys. Just looks like Heathrow. Now see, we've got...
Is the airport displayed in the navigation display?
No,
if
no,
you
I
press
switched it
airport?
off. I can switch it on, yes. Oh, come on. Come on. EGLL, yeah, I was correct. That is Heathrow. Yeah. No, this is amazing. I've had a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys, but this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this. I'm so glad you made it.
Echo Golf Sierra Sierra, Stansted. Echo Golf Golf Whiskey on the other side. My previous base, Luton.
Okay. David, sorry, as I was talking earlier, but yeah, thanks for the note. Let's see if we can see him already. We've got HAA West Center. Guys, apparently WebEye version 3 is launching later today, and Denton says we must wait until we see that. It's going to blow our minds. So I'm looking forward to that. Right, we're in the cruise. Gents, who is behind me? Any one of you?
It's me, sir. El Papino from Cheese and Wine.
Lekker, thank you. Awesome.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Noticing when you were in vertical speed earlier, the airspeed was dropping, so there's a danger of getting into a stall there, isn't there? I wonder if you could explain whether VNAV would do that or level change would do that, and the safety implications for commanding vertical speed.
Okay. Nico, if I can,
yeah.
I can answer to this.
Yeah, go.
So that's absolutely correct, and also that is how it works in the real one. It's not a bug, it's as it is in the real one. In fact, when you approach the higher level, the rule is by Boeing, it's not by the company, to encourage the use of VNAV to avoid possible loss of speed because of trying to keep a rate of climb. So for instance, when we press and we ask the aircraft to maintain 3000 feet a minute, he goes by priority, and vertical speed gives to him priority 1 is maintain the rate, priority 2 is maintain the speed. So what he was doing is maximum thrust available 3,000 feet, but then maintaining 3,000 feet, maybe the speed is dropping because they have no power available to maintain the speed and the rate of climb at the same time. So that's why Boeing encouraged the use of VNAV to avoid possibility, especially at higher level, of losing speed.
Clever. But you know, Sasso, I've said it to somebody in the week now. What I think a lot of flight simulator pilots miss, not it's just because they don't actively think about it. It's not for any other reason. Is for a pilot in the real world to have the privilege to get into this cockpit, you need something like 2,000 hours already as a pilot, and you need to go through rigorous training. You don't just arrive like a flight simulator pilot and claim your seat. It doesn't work that way in real world. So there are a lot of things that are ingrained into a pilot that has become a natural thing. It's not a surprise to him when certain things happen, and it's part of who he is already. So a real pilot handles a situation differently than a simulator pilot because of experience. And I think a lot of simulator pilots miss that. A lot of guys just want to jump in, get going. They want to play the arcade game, and just want to ride it. I had a guy on my stream once. He said to me, it took him 2 weeks to learn how to fly a Boeing, and I just smiled and said, okay, I'll just talk to him again, because it doesn't work that way.
I wish I was him. If you learn to fly an airplane and then a Boeing in 2 weeks, I want to say and to Boeing, at least to Boeing, or if not to NASA. But anyway, there is something. There was another question saying there is the possibility to have a sort of a safe maneuver or safe system that will avoid this situation. The answer is yes, and actually it is called the pitch and power automatic system. We can try, Nico, if you want. It's very easy. It's actually part of the training that we usually do every 6 months. The rule is that if the autothrottle is engaged and it recognizes a low speed situation or a high speed situation, it will automatically shut the thrust to maintain the envelope of the aircraft. So to try this, if we want, we need to disengage the autothrottle, leave the autopilot on, and close completely the thrust. The speed is going to drop, and then while it's approaching the low speed value, you need to engage again the autothrottle, but so you need to force yourself to keep the throttle closed, and at that point, the autothrottle will come up and says, oi, I need to put thrust.
So it's not going to work in the Zibo. I'll explain why. The moment I click auto throttle on, the throttle will lift because of this one setting. Auto throttle engage lock throttle. So let me switch it off, and then let's try it again, because effectively that should do it. So there we're losing speed and it's spooling down. Now I'm going to click it. See, now I can interfere with it, but it's fighting me because there we go. Oh no. The only reason it kicks out is because I interfere with it, you see. In the Zibo, I cannot hold back on the physical levers while the auto throttle is on.
Okay, let's see if there is the new system. Leave the auto throttle off, but leave the autopilot on. So auto throttle off, shut the throttle, and leave everything as it is. It will go into a low speed situation. Now, if you don't touch anything, technically, even with the auto throttle off, the new system will move the thrust up to regain the speed.
I'm not sure if Zibo has put that in yet, but Zibo, when you watch this video, there's another tip to look at. Wink, wink. Let's see. Guys, parachutes are available at the back and the front exits. Please prepare in case something goes wrong.
Linda goes first.
No. Shame. Right now, let's see what's gonna happen.
You should start to go into the amber band. That's normal, and you can start to see a little bit of shaking. That's the stick shakers. That's normal. You should have also the alert in the FMC, stall buffet or something similar. And then approaching the red band, the throttle should come in.
Right, I'm just keeping my finger on auto throttle in case, because I don't really want to stall right now.
No, but don't worry. The maximum you can lose is 1,000 or 2,000 feet a minute. It's not a major deal.
There's the warning.
Let him go to the red band.
Okay. Starting to pitch.
Yes, it's trimming nose up, isn't it, to keep the altitude?
That's normal. That's normal. You want to maintain the other altitude, so to maintain the altitude. That's normal. Perfect. Flashing. That's correct. And approaching the red band, he should put the thrust in.
I'm not sure that's been modeled yet. That's the only concern I have.
Soon find out.
It's not doing it. Now I've put the auto throttle back on. Now it's climbing.
Yeah. So basically what you should do, the FADEC system should recognize the low speed situation, and it should automatically put power on.
Sure. One of the things with FADEC, remember also, is the FADEC isn't implemented completely yet, because you can still burn out your engines. The same goes for overpowering the engines. If you run at 104% after takeoff, 3 minutes later the engine seizes. And FADEC should do that as well. So I think Zibo, he obviously knows about it. It's part of the plan. He'll get there when he gets there,
Look, Nico, as is well done. Look at the trim, pitching nose down. He's maintaining the altitude, and he has at the moment a lot of thrust. He's basically in a kind of takeoff power situation, or even more, and he's pitching so crazy to maintain the altitude and at the same time to accelerate.
Right now 7527, Unicom on straight, good flight to Copenhagen.
Good morning, Unicom for Ryanair 7527, thanks for the coverage, bye-bye.
As well.
So, and Ryanair 129 as well, Unicom on straight, good flight to Copenhagen.
Hold on, sorry, I need to go to Unicom. I hear the other guys are flying in that airspace, so now I hear the ATC. Sorry, Sasso, say again.
No, I was saying, look how much time it's taking to accelerate back to a normal situation.
Yeah. This thing's heavy, man, and it's got a lot to do now. I don't see that other aircraft, but that's... It's a little bit above us. There he goes. Woohoo! That's you, Albapino?
Yeah, I got a problem.
Okay, alright, no worries. Yeah, man, this is fun. Look at his wake. Look, we're picking up some of his turbulence there. We're shaking. Hold on, guys.
That's not a matter of interest, Nico. What mod you have in the above the N1? Is it cruise or what?
Above N1?
Yes, in the
cruise. Yes.
Cruise. Okay, now go into N1 limit and press continuous.
Where do you do that?
You do this because you are in a low speed situation, and actually now Boeing, information of about 2 months ago, suggests the companies, when you level off at your cruise level, to set continuous from the annual limit page, so you have a little bit of extra power to play if you encounter turbulence.
Where do you do that? Tell me where to do that.
FMC.
Yeah.
FMC, N1 limit.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
And then press next to con. And you will see the green bug in the upper view. The green bug now is a little bit more than before.
Yes.
So basically it's taking into the pocket a little bit of extra power to use.
Okay, gotcha.
Continuous is your safe coin in the pocket, because continuous is the maximum continuous thrust or maximum continuous power that you can have in the engine.
At this point, yes.
Exactly. So continuous is the coin, the safe coin in your wallet.
All right. Okay. Magnificent. Wow. Phew.
And if you think, Nico, continuous is also what we aim immediately when we have an engine failure. Immediately we go live engine on continuous.
Yes, I
because
remember
we can
that
have
lesson
the
you
maximum
gave us.
thrust, exactly, maximum thrust, which is the takeoff thrust usually, for maximum 5 minutes. Then we need to reduce to the continuous, to the max continuous thrust.
Gotcha. Wow, this is fun. Can I just answer Dominic quickly? Dominic, I think it depends on what you want to achieve with the network. Iveo is a more mature bunch of guys. You don't have the same silliness with all the children. Iveo has got, you know, a more stringent rule set, and also employ the rules more strictly than VATSIM does. So for us more mature guys, it was a much easier fit than to go and argue with a bunch of children on VATSIM. I know not everybody is childish, I respect that, but we did have a whole bunch of negative and bad experiences on VATSIM. And they're gonna have to, you know, attend to some of some of the stuff that happened wasn't nice. So for us, the bonus was not only finding a more mature crowd on this side, it also was the training facilities that we were offered and the training assistance that we were offered, and that meant the whole world to us. You know, we really embraced it because of the complete package. Right, we were playing so much, we're at the top of descent, so I've just bugged down a little bit. I don't even know where we need to go to. Let's quickly look at it. Hello, Day.
Just to add to that, with the recent software client and everything with Aveo, in my personal view, the Aveo software package is better presented and easier to install than the VATSIM one.
Yeah, it's an all-encompassing package. It already contains the CSLs. You don't have to go and find something, then convert them, then do this, then do that. When you install Iveo, it's just click, next, and you're done. You know, after everything is said and done, you just go fly. VATSIM became a bit of an issue at the end here for me, where it just became too much to try and keep up with the development of the clients, and then the CSLs, this and that, and then this didn't work and that didn't work. And with Iveo, we just don't have that. It's just taken away from us. Okay, to answer your question there, Amar, the switching happens automatically. I don't change anything. It happens. It's part of the system that changes that. Chris, it is region dependent, and that is one of the shames. I'm glad you brought up the point. You get good regions and you get bad regions. I was lucky with all the hours I have on VATSIM. I had very little trouble. I cannot badmouth them. I can't say too much negative about them. But here in the last couple of months, it just became a bit of a problem for me personally, and we were so well received on the other side. It was just a natural movement to go over. Nothing more than that, really. I'm still keeping my Watson, by the way, guys. I will keep my account active. I mean, I'm not that angry or desperate to not go there again, you know. I mean, I'll keep it going, but my network of choice is IVAO at this point in time.
Nico, I just read Amar was asking, do we have to go back to the FMC for switching from continuous to cruise or vice versa? That's the other point suggested by Boeing. So I'm talking about information that the companies received directly from Boeing, from the manufacturer. They said use continuous every time you reach a cruise level. So this means either in a climb, if you're doing a step climb, because for example you are heavy, so you reach, I don't know, you are aiming to fly at 400, but at the beginning you are let's say, for example, you have too much fuel and you are too heavy to reach immediately 400. So your first step climb is going to be 360, for instance. So when you reach 360, it will go into cruise, providing that 360 is the altitude in the cruise page, in the FMC. Otherwise, you will remain in climb mode, because he says, I didn't reach my cruise level, so I'm still in a climb in my mind. The thing is, every time you reach a cruise level, and then it's common sense. If you see that you are close to the coffin corner, which is basically high speed and low speed, very, very close between each other, then have your safe coin in the pocket, press continuous, and this will give you an extra margin in the engine thrust to counteract possible turbulence or, you know, possible problem with the engine.
All right, so gents, I need to switch over to ATC now. So if you guys can bear with me, I need to go and speak with him and get some instruction. Brussels approach, Ryanair 810, descending through flight level 225, and we are inbound Kirky, sorry.
Ryanair 810, Brussels approach, good morning. Radar contact, expect vectoring for ILS approach, runway 24, proceed direct Kirky, then Nivor, descend to flight level 80.
Descent flight level 80, and we're expecting vectors for runway ILS runway 24. We are proceeding directly Kirky, then Nivor, Ryanair 810. There we go, something like that. Sorry, Amar, yeah, no, I'm glad Sasso answered that. I might have oversimplified it, I apologize.
266, push start approved, face east.
Make this guy soft.
Pushing facing east, go to 660.
Bit loud. Get this volume down. So we've got some reflection on the radar. We are going to have a bit of fun with weather, it seems.
Nico, question?
Yeah.
So previously you missed the top of descent and you bugged down, I guess, 8,000.
Yeah.
What initiated the RNAV?
What, now in this flight, Joe?
In this flight, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't miss the top of descent. I was literally like in 10 miles from it when I realized I need to quickly bug down. So I just went down to 3.6 on the MCP, and then the guy told me to go to 8,000, so I just bugged up again. I was fortunate. I literally didn't miss the top of descent. I was just right in front of it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You will also receive an alert if you are within 5 miles of your top of descent and you didn't touch the MCP altitude.
Yeah,
you will get an amber light, reset MCP altitude.
Yeah, it actually came up, so then I was at 5 nauticals. That's why I knew I was on top of it. That's what I saw.
Nice.
Say again, Sasso?
There's a message that comes up. Sorry, go Sasso.
So basically, if you are on a cruise level, for instance 290 as before, and you are reaching the top of descent calculated by the FMC, when you are within 5 nautical miles from your top of descent, approaching it, you will have, if you don't touch the MCP altitude, i.e. you didn't start at least talk with ATC requesting descent, then you will have a message with an amber light in the FMC which says reset MCP alt, which means wake up, you need to descend.
Yeah, check.
Guys, if you miss the top of descent, don't panic. The top of descent is something that the FMC builds with your information. And I'm sorry if I use a little bit of a strong word here, but Boeing says FMC is wonderful, but it depends what shit you put in. Because at least he is a computer. So wrong information you put in, wrong information you will have out.
Yes,
top of descent is one of them.
We have a saying, Sasso, garbage in, garbage out.
There we go.
Right, 10, continue descent
that's the point.
4,000
So if you are approaching the top of descent, and many times to me it happens that...
descending 4,000 feet, running right 10. Sorry, Sasso.
No problem. So many times the ATC doesn't clear us to descend when we want, because don't forget, that is the ideal world. The top of descent is the ideal point to start the descent. In a magic world, when we are alone in the sky. Many times can happen that the ATC can't clear us to descend because there is a traffic below or another reason. In that case, don't panic. Just change your speed into the descent page. If the top of descent is calculated with 255, as it is now, if you are approaching the top of descent, you can descend, just put an higher level. Higher level we want to maintain in the descent. This means that the top of descent will happen later. So for instance, if Nico was like, I can't descend because the ATC doesn't clear me, just put in the descent page 270, for example, and the computer will create a new descent profile maintaining 270 knots. So this means a new top of descent, which is going to be after the previous one.
And that's all speed based?
Correct. Speed and restriction. So imagine that it will be very simple to do it with a sharing screen, but basically imagine two lines starting from the ground, from the runway, and then going up to the point where there is the aircraft. Now, one line is going to be at 255, which is a kind of which is one, how can I say, the angle between the runway and the speed to create this line is going to be one angle. If then we do another descent profile, so another line still from the runway, but instead of 255 at 300 knots, for example, so we say to this new profile we want to maintain 300 knots, I promise you the top of descent for the 300
According from
is
Bravo
going
1,
to be
ready for
closer
departure,
to the runway compared with the one at
Tower 26 heavy, roger, wind 290 degrees, 1 knots, runway
you will
25 right,
maintain
clear for
a
takeoff.
higher speed during
Flying
the
in up
descent.
runway 25 right, clear for
It
takeoff.
can seem crazy by promise.
Ryanair 810
The
to right,
higher
heading
the speed you will
180.
maintain in the descent, the closer the top of the descent will be to the runway.
So
Okay,
in
guys,
theory,
I'm just going to mute you quickly. Turning right 180 for Ryanair 810.
Ryanair 810, please increase the rate of descent.
Sorry guys, I had to cut them off there, but I can't hear the ATC at the same time, and then you can vice versa also not hear them, so it's kind of a catch-22 position. I think if we do another flight like this, we might not do it online. I've always resisted doing flights like this online because we actually want the information more than we want the online flight, I think, at least from my side. So next time we'll not fly online if we do something like this again. Better start braking.
Ryanair 810, turn left heading 060.
Turning left heading 060, Ryanair 810.
Tower 266, radar contact, continue climb to flight level 70.
Continue climb flight level 70, cover 266.
Ryanair 810, continue left turn heading 040.
Approaching transition.
Continue left turn 040, Ryanair 810. Little bit of rain coming. Awesome.
Transition level. 1000 to level off.
Cover 266, monitor Unicom 122.8, goodbye, have a nice flight.
Monitor Unicom 122.8, thank you for the service, cover 266 easy.
Amar, it depends on the situation. I sometimes use altitude intervention. In this case, he was complaining that I was descending too slow, so I went to vertical speed and I just increased the rate. You'll have to adjust on the fly depending on your situation. But in theory, you can use vertical speed, you can use altitude intervention, all these things. Oh, you know what happened? Because of the ATC, I'm gonna have to go and fly another flight now without ATC. Damn it, I couldn't test the descent. Oh.
Ryanair 810, continue descent to altitude 3000 feet and turn right heading 160.
3000 feet, 160, Ryanair 810. See, now typically here, I think he said 160. Help me, correct me if I'm wrong, but typically here, this is now where altitude intervention will or should work really well. See, now just press that. Go. So in this flight I used both descent methods, vertical speed as well as the altitude intervention. Why does it not go down? Come on. It went down so slightly and then stopped. Okay, what I'm gonna do is just not to make a mess with the ATCs, I'm just gonna use the vertical speed thing again. Wow, the frame rate is bad now.
Ryanair 810, turn right, heading 210, cleared ILS approach, runway 24, report established.
Turning right, heading 210, cleared for the ILS approach for runway 24, and we'll report established Ryanair 810.
Flaps 1 set.
Brussels approach, good morning, Ryanair 316, descending through flight level 190, Ryanair 316, Brussels approach, hello, radar contact, expect vectoring for ILS approach, runway 24, turn left now, heading 080, and descend to 4,000 feet, QNH 1001.
Flaps 5 set.
Turn right, heading 104, descending to 4,000 feet, QNH 1001, Ryanair 316, expecting, ILS approach to 24, Ryanair 316. Ryanair 316, just to confirm, right heading 080. Apologies, right heading 080.
This is going to be an interesting landing because I can't see the runway.
Winds to 80 degrees, 8 knots, runway 24, clear to land.
Runway 24, clear to land, Ryanair 810. Look at that wind again, it's crazy. It's died down a little bit. Amar, I'm keeping on thinking about your question. I think the deciding factor will be if you want control or not. If you don't mind the aircraft having control, altitude intervention is fine. But if it doesn't work like in my last instance, or if you want full control over the descent, rather go for vertical speed. Just put that in the back of your mind.
316, just confirm, the heading was 080.
There's the runway.
Heading 180, Ryanair 316. Ryanair 316, negative, heading left now, heading 080, heading 080.
400. Approaching minimums.
Left heading 080, Ryanair 316.
Minimums.
Correct.
Brake up. Reverse unlocked. V1. Rotate. Stabilized. Auto brake in use.
Man, I've got to deflect. The moment I let go, it turns. No voorbij, Reinhard. No voorbij.
60 knots.
Better landing than yesterday.
2,000
Wow.
feet remaining.
Ryanair 316, turn left heading 050.
Turn left heading 050, Ryanair 316.
Ryanair 810, runway vacated.
Ryanair 810, Roger, welcome to Brussels Charleroi. Taxi to gate 60 via November, Mike 5 Hotel.
November, Mike 5 Hotel, and the stand number again, sir?
Stand 60.
Copy stand 60, Ryanair 810. After landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
Approach, good morning, VAT 1 Whiskey Delta, Formation Quebec on board, request evacuant to Ojda.
VAT 1 Whiskey Delta, Brussels approach, very good morning, sir. Information Romeo is current, so your clear destination Ujda, Chèvre 4 Yankee departure, runway 24, initial climb is flight level 50 and squawk 7145.
You are clear to reply, take off on way 24 with Chèvre Funky departure, 24,000 feet and the squawk 7145, VAT 1 Whiskey Delta.
VAT 1 Whiskey Delta, read back correct.
Thanks, Amar.
VAT 1 Whiskey Delta, and first, unfortunately, I
Thank you,
Claude
Dominic.
Unicom 1 to decimal. Goodbye, have a nice flight.
Unicom to Somalia to VAT 1 Whiskey Delta, thank you for control and have a good day.
Alright. Ryanair 810, unfortunately I have to close, so monitor Unicom 1 to decimal 8, goodbye.
Thank you for your service, sir. It was magic. Enjoy your rest of your day. 810.
Have a nice weekend, bye-bye. Ryanair 316, also for you I am closing, so monitor Unicom 1.
Guys, I'm back. I'm on Unicom now. Phew, this was a flight.
Wonderful. That was, my friend.
Sorry, one at a time?
We lost
That
the
was an
speed.
INS approach.
Can I ask Sasso go first and then Uncle John afterwards, because I can't hear when you speak together. I still don't know what you're saying. Sasso?
That was a kind of high energy approach when the EGCC gives you vectors to final.
Oh yes, oh yeah, definitely. I loved it. It was awesome. I had to increase the speed. I'm gonna answer you, Amar, just now. I had to increase the speed. At one point there on the approach, I was facing an 18 knot wind from about 1 o'clock. You know, and I had to increase the speed a little bit there. But yeah, it was fun. Wow. Uncle John, sorry sir, I missed you completely. Say again.
Just to say that we lost the speed element on the below 10,000.
Yeah, we lost that element. I was mentioning it on the stream. I'm gonna have to go to Porto and just fly that circuit to test that, because and then I won't have ATC. It's the best place to go and test that now. At least we did the flight director one and I showed the guys the camera, so it's just that one test that is elusive that we need to go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I can, Nico,
Yeah.
that's kind of losing airspeed below 10,000 is not a bug. It's normal because the aircraft was pitching to maintain the profile.
No, I understand. I understand, but one of my tasks here, Sasso, is Zibo enhanced the code to enforce the 240 below 10,000. So at some point in time during the normal VNAV path, it should slow down and pitch up and down or whatever to maintain the speed or to obtain the speed. And this is something that I need to test for him, that the code works. The way the aircraft operated now and under ATC control, I don't have a problem with anything that happened. It's just that I have a task that is given me to go and do, you know, that I haven't been able to do.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've
So
been off, Nico.
say again, Uncle John, or what?
Noticed your VNAV was off, so it couldn't maintain it anyway.
Exactly. No, I was actually, you know, living the dream, having the ATC, having the wonderful weather to cope with, bad frame rates, you know, all these things to contend with at the same time, and then yeah, we'll go do a controlled flight and test it. Amar, the reason we use VREF +5 is that's the normal setting, but the guys increase it to 7 or 9 or 10 depending on the wind. There's a certain component that you have to add extra. Sasso, would you mind telling us how you guys determine the wind factor at VREF plus whatever for landing?
Yes. Actually, I had to use it yesterday evening landing in Valencia. Basically, the wind correction is gonna be usually 90% of the time half of the headwind. So, for instance, if the wind we landed on runway 24, I think, if the wind is, for instance, 240 up to 10 knots, half of that is gonna be 5 knots. So wind correction 5. If the wind reported from the tower is 240 18 knots, for example, half of 18 is 9. So in that case, my wind correction is going to be 9 knots. So I have the VREF, which is the one next to the flap setting, which, for example, I have 30 slash speed, that is the VREF. So for example, let's call it flaps 30 speed, is going to be 135 plus the wind correction. So you can differentiate between final speed and fly speed. The fly speed is going to be what you want to maintain up to 50 feet above the threshold. That is your V fly, which is the VREF from the flaps you choose plus the wind correction. The VREF is the one you want when the gear touch down, because the idea behind this wind correction is that you will blow off that speed during the flare. So by the time you close the thrust, you hold the attitude to touch with the main gear, you will blow that exceeds speed, which is just a couple of knots.
Totally clear, Sasso.
Beautifully explained.
Yeah, sorry I had to mute you guys there, but I couldn't cope with your voices and ATC. I was telling the guys on stream as well, next time we do a test flight like this and you are here, so I'm just going to disconnect the online network, because, I mean, we lost so much valuable information because I had to concentrate on the ATC now.
Yeah, I know, sometimes with the ATC, you just need to prioritize one or the other, otherwise it's a mess, yeah.
So I don't want to complicate it. Hopefully people had time to take in the VREF plus wind speed. Would you like to add the bit about gusting winds or not?
Yes, you can have a situation of gusty winds. The idea is you take the steady wind, half of that. So let's say wind reported from the tower is, let's imagine still runway 24. So, steady wind is 240, 10 knots, gusting 20. So, with the rule I said before, the first thing we do is to take half of the end width regarding the steady wind. Steady wind is 10 knots, half of that is 5, so my first wind correction is going to be 5. Plus, we have the gusty wind, which is 20. In that case, I'm going to take the difference between the gust and the steady, and I will add this difference to the wind correction that I already get. So in that case, it's going to be 20 minus 10, 10, plus 5 of steady wind correction is going to be 15. So my total wind correction is going to be 15 knots. That is the maximum speed I will play in.
And is it B plus 20 is the maximum you're allowed to go to, or is it some other value?
Correct. It's max 20 because it's a flap maneuvering speed. Because if you put something more than 20 and you are landing with flaps 30 or flaps 40, then you can have you can exceed the flap maneuvering speed, because flaps 40 maneuvering speed is 162. Flaps 30 maneuvering speed is 175. So if you correct too much, if you put too much wind correction, you can, and you are heavy as well, you can technically exceed the flap maneuvering speed.
Thank you, Sato.
I see I bounced a little bit there. Not much, but slightly.
I still reckon that was an awesome stream, and the landing was very, very good, Nico.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. And it was 108 foot per minute, it seems. I mean, it's really good. But, yeah. I loved it. I tell you what, I absolutely loved this morning. The comments on stream, the comments on Discord, Sasso's involvement, my interaction with the actual sim, it was just awesome. It was just fantastic. I'm going to replay this quite a few times because I want a lot of screenshots, guys. So you're welcome to drop off the stream, but I'm going to just take a few screenshots for posterity. I'm going to zoom in at some time and, all the rest. Amar, feel free to ask. While we are here, you might as well ask.
Nico, I think you're going to have to do another stream taking in all of what we've learnt this morning.
Yeah, Uncle John will have to, I think.
With Sesso in the stream, huh?
Yeah.
I will do my best to be present.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an awful lot to take in this morning. Trying to get it all sorted out, it needs simplifying slightly and give you time to really take it in.
Yeah, you can always hit replay on the video as well once it's fully rendered and things like that. But I love the live interaction because then you can ask your questions and things like that. Get the replay of the question and things like that. Wow, this is just freaking awesome. I love this. I'm seriously mad about what I see here. Let's zoom in a little bit more for the second run.
In fact, you should have had the weather from last night, Nico, as well.
Oh, this was heavy in its own.
That was inclusive wind shear as well.
Okay.
Last night when they were flying, I believe they had 100-knot tailwind coming down through England as well.
Yep.
That's at cruise altitude, not landing.
The scenery is awesome and all, but man, the flight, the performance in frame rates that you lose because of the nice to haves at this airport is crazy.
I hope you're going to make that ortho or that scenery quick, because landing on grass there is not nice.
Yeah, no, I'm done. Here it is. You can see I'm done. I've fixed it up. Everything is working.
Oh, is this it?
Yeah, this is it. But damn it, the frame rates here is terrible. I mean, I lose half my frame rates here. I came in at like 22 FPS. No, it's terrible. You know, I mean, if you look at the effort the guy put in to make it, it is phenomenal. If you install it correctly, the way I have with all the correct HD mesh and everything, I mean, it looks phenomenal. But it is so heavy on frame rates. It's kind of a bummer, man.
Frame killer.
I think Amar was about to ask a question. Here we go.
Can I ask a question about that frame rate business?
Yeah, let's also
Nico?
answer Amar quickly and then you should.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, Amar, that's absolutely correct. It is right for a simple task. What you want to have on a perfect landing is your correct speed. You don't want too much speed. You don't want low speed. So, most likely when you are doing your briefing and deciding which flaps you are going to use for landing, you are still in the cruise, maybe approaching top of the sand. In Europe, more or less, you are about 20 minutes before landing. In 20 minutes, you are going to burn a certain amount of fuel. Now, if you go and select the flaps without touching anything else, the computer is going to select the speed for the actual value when you decide the flaps. For instance, 20 minutes before landing. Now, that speed is going to be safe in terms of low speed situation. So in terms of avoiding a stall situation, because you are going to be faster than you need. But at the same time, it's going to be a bad situation in terms of distance required to stop the aircraft on the runway. Remember that more or less span-wise, 5 knots more rather than the normal speed that you need is going to be at least 300 meters of runway that you need to stop. 300 meters more, of course. So what you want to do is to take into account the weight that you will lose by the time you do your briefing and check the flaps and the time you will reach the runway during the landing. That's why the people go into progress page, check the amount of fuel they have now, 8.0, check the fuel that they will have on the ground, 6.0. The difference is 2 tons. I'm just taking number in the head just to have an example. 2 tons difference. Then they go into init-ref when they select the flaps. They change the actual value they have at the moment, which is the actual weight at that time, and they do that weight minus 2.0, for instance, and then they select the flaps. Because in this way, the speed you will select is going to be the speed at that weight of the aircraft, which is the speed you are expecting to have and the weight you are expecting to have on the runway during the landing.
Yeah, I also do that. I did type it here in the stream. I also do that calculation. Usually, today I didn't. My hands were full. We were talking and having fun, you know, but usually I do it.
That's how we were
Taught, yeah.
taught by Skymatics.
You see.
I always do that. Never forget that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily relevant to the stream, Nico, but your FPS hit, was that because it was CPU bound rather than graphics card bound?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what it is. It is the HD version for mesh. The moment that mesh comes active on my computer here, my frame rate is halved. It is crazy. Now, if you bear with me, I just want to take some screenshots and things. I'm loving what I'm seeing, so I'm taking a lot of screenshots here, guys. If you can bear with me, Mac, I'll show you the absolute definition this guy went to. This scenery is like probably one of the better ones I have on my system, but the cost is frame rate because of the HD mesh. If I disable the HD mesh, I get in my normal 30-40 FPS here, no problem.
Okay.
But
there is,
we'll see. Sorry?
There might be a possibility, but talk about it off stream. And that's thanks to information Dimitri's and I've been talking about.
All right, okay. No worries, no worries. Let me quickly stop this replay. And I just want to quickly show you the level of detail at this
TARA mode set.
At this airport.
Minimum.
It is phenomenal,
Taxi
guys.
lights
It really
on.
is. This guy,
80
whoever
knots.
he is who made it,
Throttle hold.
really went all out.
Speed brake up.
I
Reverse
must
unlocked.
admit, I do like that
60
airport.
knots.
This
Reverse
is
unlocked.
phenomenal. You must check this.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlocked.
Tilt my head a little bit down.
Runway turn off, lights off. TARA mode set.
That's really
1000
nice.
to level
It's
off.
beautiful.
Yeah, now I must just get the
Minimum.
correct
Speed brake up.
settings. If
Reverse
you
unlocked.
look, let me go down.
60
Look at the
knots.
definition is
TARA
brought in
mode
here.
set.
Look at this level.
Minimum.
You still have the
Speed
ups and
brake up.
downs and everything. I mean,
Reverse
this
unlocked.
guy has put in
60
a
knots.
tremendous
Flaps
amount of
upset.
elevation
Taxi
data
lights
in
on.
here. Now look at
Taxi
this.
lights on.
You see, I mean, there is a lot of detail in this place. Look at the ups and downs and everything that is put in here. And you can only achieve that with the HD Mesh version 4. So it gets incorporated into everything. And that is your biggest hit. I actually experimented with the HD mesh last night and this morning, and I actually removed the HD mesh from my system. This tile with this ortho here at this airport is the only place where HD mesh is still on my system, because my system can't cope with it. I mean, I go from 55 to 60 frames at Porto down to 15 to 20 when the mesh is enabled. So I mean, I can't use it. I'll take the punch for the team, you know. I'll take one for the team here because of the effort this guy's put in here and the airport. I mean, it's super. But I don't want to have this bad response on my computer and in the flight sim at you know, the rest of my world, so to speak. Yeah. So I mean, this guy really did well. Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with this whole situation. The OSM data, everything that is put in here with the roads and all the trees and everything. I mean, he really tried to make it look good, and you know, well done. But it's heavy on my system, very heavy on my system.
It looks awesome. It really does.
Yeah, it does. Look at that
gives,
radar.
It gives it a lot more. It gives it a lot more realism when you get down close.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Also now taking into account, look there. I mean, I'm only getting 25, 26 frames. It's flyable in the Zibo, but if we now, for instance, go to the Cessna, let's see what the Cessna FPS will be. It will probably be 40 something. Let's have a look. See.
You got the data at the top of the screen behind your at the moment. I was thinking CPU timing and so forth.
We can switch it on just now, but then we'll probably.
It was an EVIO flight, wasn't it?
Yes.
To say you don't want the low frame rates, but
Just, so did you shut it off, Nico?
I did.
Just wanted to remember you.
Appreciate it.
Nico,
Yes.
I have something regarding the high energy approach prevention. Are we out from the stream?
No, we're still on stream.
Okay.
I just want to quickly fire up the... Okay, sorry. I got distracted there. I just want to fire up the 172 and just check the frame rates there. So there you can see we're back to the 40s with the 172. So obviously the Zibo in conjunction with the airport, is heavy. It is a tall order, a tall ask. But man, this is awesome, freaking. And they think it's free. This is magic.
Check your YouTube chat, Nico.
I'll do that just now. Sorry, we actually spawned back at Manchester. Can you believe it? EBCI. I just noticed that. MaxFly101. Good morning. How are you?
It was the line above that I thought you'd want to notice.
Amar, the one with SkyMax Pro. I answered him SkyMax Pro.
No, it's the stream elements. Mayfly has subscribed to you.
MaxFly. Oh, yeah. MaxFly, thank you. Thanks for the subscription. Good morning. Welcome to this crazy family. We love each other very much, and you're most welcome to join us. This thing's taking forever to load again. This wind is howling, eh? And that's Experialistic that does that. Amar, you enjoy yourself.
Kitchen, you gotta go too. Gotta join too.
Okay, enjoy whatever you do. We'll be back later, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll see the video later.
Okay.
Succes, hè?
Dankie, hetzelfde.
Ja, hetzelfde. Right.
So Nico, is the Vulkan now stable in terms of edition?
So I would say 98%. It's not 100% perfect yet. I had 2 crashes already with it where it just drops the connection to the VGA card. But I mean, I fly it mostly. I haven't been back to the other version in a very, very, very long time, and so far it looks very nice.
Okay.
Assume you closed the smart cars up, Nico.
Yeah, I did. I followed the flight and everything, Uncle John. This thing takes forever to load. One, we didn't say I'm on an NVM drive, I'm telling you.
I'm not sure how many we had on today, but you had 22 likes. That was nice.
There you go. You see, I still have my 30 plus frames here in the 172. So the Zibo mod in itself does take its toll, you know. That's why I say I'll just live with it, you know, for what it is. I mean, it's usable, it's not unusable, but damn, it's harsh on that frames. Sorry for the spelling there. I was typing fast, obviously. Hell. Hell. Yeah, Max, that's never a nice thing. But once you get through it, it will be okay. Just hang in there. Stay strong. So, guys, that's about it. That's the end of my story. I hope you enjoyed it with us. I thoroughly did. I think you did. The feedback is amazing. You guys make it so much worthwhile, you know.
And grateful thanks to Sesso as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. We will return later this afternoon, early evening, and then we'll fly from here to Copenhagen. I think that's my next plan. Sorry, guys, I know a lot of you have done it already, but I lost 2-3 days out of my week due to work, you know, so, and family responsibilities. So I'm behind you. So I'll just continue where I was. If you guys want to fly with, you're more than welcome.
Bless you, Sasso, for everything this morning.
It's been a pleasure as always, and if I'm around, I will definitely join you. Destination Copenhagen.
Yeah. All right. Okay, guys, let me stop the stream. Thank you for watching. Speak soon. Bye-bye.